guys, welcome to my channel. This is Marcy with Creators Call. If you're new, I'd love to welcome you for the first time. I hope you stick around and join the gang. And if you're not new, I want to thank you so much for being faithful and watching my channel and supporting me in all the ways that you do, leaving your comments and things. You may have noticed in the title on the video down below, it's got kind of an unusual title. And so I'll explain that in just a minute. Today, we're going to do something that I've been looking forward to doing for quite some time. The project that I'm wanting to work on is taking some of these bubble wrap pieces and making tags. Now, I was cleaning out some stuff yesterday and getting some orders ready to send out, and I had all these little pieces that are just cast-offs. And then I have one of these bubble wrap mailers, and I very often use these. I'll save them and just put them in the bottom of boxes, like for extra padding and stuff. So that's where all these little pieces came from. So the only person I have seen do this on camera actually is Gayle Agostinelli, the fearless Gayle Agostinelli. And she had done this 2 to 3 years ago. When I decided yesterday this is what I want to make for today, I went out to look, and besides her video, there's only one other one from another channel called Letter B, Reborn, Craft and something. I can't remember the exact name of her channel, but she was also pivoting off of Gayle's video. Now, the reason I've been wanting to do this is because I also, if you can kind of get a clue from these little pieces here, I have had in mind for quite some time to make a Holly Hobbie journal. I'm not sure these girls are exactly Holly Hobbie. These two are. And these little pieces here are digitals, little digital pieces. So I will link that down below where I got this printable from. But I had actually purchased these on purpose so that I could do a Holly Hobbie inspired journal or two. So today we're going to work on making puffy tags with mailers in a Holly Hobbie style. And then this is also part of a collab that I have been doing. The collab is with Lara Fuller from Lara Craftwell with Art. Now, Lara recently saw a video. It was called The Sound of Freedom, and it is about child trafficking and sex trafficking and just the disgusting nature of the trade, kind of a documentary revealing movie. And it really just spoke to her heart about, first of all, the purity of childhood, the innocence of childhood, and then what is our response to that? What should it be? Especially if you are a Christian, where God has called us to speak up for those who have no voice, to protect those who are innocent and who have no one to take care of them, and to right injustices and to right wrongs and to really fight evil in the world. And this is one of the most disgusting things that is still happening in this world today. And I would say it's become probably even more rampant than we are aware. We also had a couple of ladies from church. They were involved in a child rescue organization, and I think they both kind of burned out over time. But we're aware of the problem, and we support efforts. So Lara's idea was to have a series of videos where we talk about the innocence of childhood, and we just kind of help raise awareness for this problem. And along with that, to kind of talk about maybe things from our own childhood, or to talk about a story that we have, to talk about just really maybe create a piece of art and explain why you made that. So the title of this video is #Innocence, a project with a purpose. So we are raising awareness about the innocence of childhood, the fact that child trafficking and sex trafficking still exists and literally enslaves hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions, I don't know. But it also takes advantage of poor people, of children. And and a lot of these people are told, we'll buy your daughters, we'll buy your children from you, and we will give them a better life. And so these innocent people who are struggling to provide for their families believe in their hearts that they're doing something good. And then these girls are turned over to a disgusting, violent, vicious type of life. And so there's no getting away unless someone comes in and literally physically rescues them. So this is not meant to be a downer kind of a video, but it is meant to say, hey, if you would also like to help expose this problem and be aware or raise awareness for this, you can join in this collaboration. It's an open collab. And again, this is Lara's brainchild. This is something that's been speaking on her heart, and she uploaded her video on Tuesday of this week. So you can use the hashtag innocence, and you need to say project with a purpose. And if you're wanting to join in, just talk about something from your childhood, celebrating the innocence of childhood and treasuring the innocence of children. Enjoy, moments with them, or how you enjoyed engaging with children or your own children, your grandchildren, as a parent or an adult in someone's life, okay? So that's what we're doing today. And because I can't think of anything more wholesome than Holly Hobbie, more innocent, that speaks to the innocence of childhood, I thought this would be a great time to work on a Holly Hobbie project. I can't say how soon I'm going to get to the whole journal project because I just finished my Christmas ones. Hubby's having surgery tomorrow. Tomorrow is D-Day, or I guess you could say S-Day for shoulder surgery. But I'm keeping it kind of low-key for the next few weeks so that my videos aren't high pressure. But like I said, I've really been wanting to make these with the bubble wrap, the bubble packaging, and so that's what we're going to do today. Now, we're still not having an intro because of that whole copyright strike issue. I have nothing wrong with people copywriting their work, but please, if you offered it up for free at some point, please don't go back and now tell me it's not free anymore. That just kind of bothers me. So until I can get that situation squared away, I suppose I could just do the intro without the music, but that's just weird. So we're not doing it. Anyway, let's dive right in. I hear my dog barking. I have some packages that are scheduled for pickup, which is very handy. I love that system. And so I've got 4 packages going out. So thank you to those of you who have recently been ordering from Ko-fi and from my Etsy shop. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I had 3 journals that are going to new homes this week, and that's so exciting for me. A couple of them have been sitting there for a very long time, a year or more. So it's nice to see them go to somebody now. All right, so what are we doing here? How does this work? Well, it works like this. This particular foil one, this is the corner. I'm trying to figure out how to cut that. I think I'll just do it like this. This came in something that had refrigerated items in the box, I think. So the foil was helping to keep it cold as well as protecting. So we're just gonna cut some tags out of this bubble wrap stuff. And I'm kind of just gonna go with how it looks, the shape of the bubble wrap to determine the shape of the tag. And then I'm going to do a basic one, and then we'll do a couple variations. And hopefully this won't take us too long. Okay, so I want to make this about 3.5 inches wide. And I think I'm going to do it from this side because there's this tear down here. And I don't want that to interfere. In fact, I'm just going to tear that off. I don't want it to interfere with the blade. I want to, still trying to work on slightly shorter videos. It's also nice because they upload faster. But just trying to get into that habit because I want to upload more times if I can ever get to that point. If everybody would just leave me alone, I could just do what I want. Not very realistic. Now I will say I have noticed on this bubble wrap stuff, and I only have 1 or 2 pair of scissors that actually cut it effectively. One of them is these Tim Holtz tonic scissors. Most of them maybe it's just because my scissors are old. I don't know. This trimmer works pretty well. Okay, so I made it 3.5 wide. I want to, let's make it like 5.5 tall on this one. Let's try this again. Several passes there. I normally don't put this thing under the camera because the the microphone picks up only the sound of the blade, but I wanted you to see how this was working. Okay, so that was a 3.5 by 5.5, and I think maybe I can use that as a template to cut the rest. This one is a little bit wider. Let's see, yeah, this edge is kind of flimsy, so I'm going to go with this edge. So it's interesting to see of the two channels, their take on how they did this. So Gayle had the idea, and so she was covering with fabric, and then the other channel, the Be Reborn Designs, was piggybacking off of that, but she was trying to use the eyelets in the top, which I thought was an interesting idea. I liked her take on it as well. This doesn't look straight. And, but she was having trouble. Her little crocodile thingamabob that sets the eyelets, the eyelet setter, was not, it worked fine on the first tag, and then on the second one, it just rebelled. Anyway, it was a good video though, so you should go out and watch that. I'll link both of those below. And Lara definitely is front and center down below because this is her project. How many of these do I really need to make? I want to make 3, but I'm just going to cut these out while I have it here because it's easier. Not to say I won't use these little bitty scraps again later to make another batch of tags on my own, but as long as I'm making this size, we're gonna see what I mean? It's like it doesn't quite let go, please. There we go. That looks crooked. I think you need a very sharp pair of scissors for this. So what this does is the bubble wrap inside gives it kind of a nice little squishy feeling, and you can hear it. Let's see, I don't think I need those pieces. And I'll save that one for later. But I do want to cut this one. I want to cut a couple of them from this. Let's see. I'm going to bring back the trimmer for a sec. I want to give myself a nice clean edge over here. This is a great way to recycle. I tend to, like I said, reuse these for extra padding in my packages, or I will, if it's the right size, I will just reuse it to send things and just fold this end down. Okay, so 3.5. Cute, and I can save all my pieces inside this little pouch. I pulled this out. I don't know what I was thinking about that, but I suppose you could use it like you would batting under a cover, under a layer. So have any of you guys tried this? This has been on my want to do list for ages. Interesting how it cuts it one direction but not the other. Yep, my want to do list. You guys have want to do lists? I think we all do. I want to make it. I've really been feeling accomplished lately, however, because I got my craft room. I think that could still work as a tag, couldn't it? I got my craft room all, it's slowly getting very tidied up from all of these projects I've had laying around. And yeah, it's such a nice feeling. I've been working on idea books too, so next week we're probably going to play around some more with idea books. Okay, so here we are. We've got, these are 3.5 by 5.5. I've got 3 of this foil kind and 2 with the backing. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick some fabrics and cover them. And then on these, we want to have a paper back. But I thought perhaps, since this already has the paper on it, that might already be kind of like a leg up as far as having a solid writing surface on one side. So we want the pretty fabric on the one side. I adore this. I love this fabric. And then we want something to write on the other side. I've got to grab out my shears, my fabric scissors, which should have been front and center, but they weren't. And Gayle had these little like quilter packs of fabric strips, and so they had these cute little, the sides were already cute with little pinked edges that looked very darling, but I don't have that, so we are not going to look quite as darling, but we will have pinked edges. So it is officially fall here in the Treasure Valley in Idaho. We've had rain. I think we're going on, this will be the 6th day. It's not going to rain all day today, which is nice. But we've had rain several days in a row, which, if you know anything about the dry, dusty Southwest, what do they call? I used to have a pastor, he called it the high desert of Idaho, because he was from North Carolina. And so he always called it the high desert of Idaho. I'm like, okay, whatever. But it is kind of dry sometimes. So when you get 5 days of rain, that's pretty exciting. Okay, so there's that one. Good. Let's do another one. Now you can use your Amazon bubble wrap packages too, you know, and Walmart has some too, I think. And if you have a scrap pile, you know, with bigger pieces of fabric scraps, just go digging through there. I bet you could find some really cool stuff that would make great little tags. I have mine all divided up into strips, small pieces, and bigger pieces. So that way I can find what I'm looking for. This is a little big, but I'll catch that in a sec. So there's one, there's two, and then let's do one of these like this. I'm gonna pick this one that doesn't have the weird little tape bubble. I will work on these later on. So I would like, I think this one. I gotta think about this because I have a variation I want to do, and I want to use these. So I have to be able to use this on at least one of them. I think we're gonna have to go with blue, but later I will make one in that beautiful, I don't know what this is, but I found this at the thrift store and I absolutely adore this fabric. It's a cotton. It's not old, but it looks old. It's so cool, so cool. Okay, so we're gonna use this blue, also found at the same thrift store. I don't remember if I found it at the same time or not, but they all just kind of have this sweet little country, homey vibe. And now I've been on the 70s kick, you know, for a while, making 70s inspired things. And now I'm kind of, I think, switching over to more of a homey, homespun kind of cozy look in my journals. Maybe that's always been my style. I don't know. And somehow when it's fall, that's kind of what I gravitate to. Now this is very nice because this fabric has little dots that are arranged in rows, and it helps me to cut straight. Again, I'm going slightly bigger than the tag here, but I want to make sure that I have enough room. You know, that it's not so short that the edges of the bubble wrap stick out. Okay, there's that. Oops, I'm losing things. So yeah, what are your fall activities? We had Halloween last week, right? Gosh, really? Wow. Yeah, we did, but I don't think I said anything about it in my video because it was a flip through. Yeah, we decided not to do candy this year because we haven't had hardly any, we've hardly had any trick-or-treaters the last couple of years. And then we had quite a few show up early. You know, they're the early ones that have to go out before it gets too dark because they're little. So, so yeah, we had a few, but you know, I didn't have my porch light on. That's the key, right? Isn't that the code? Is that if your porch light isn't on, you don't stop for candy? And I just go up that edge, just the easiest bit. There's that. Okay. There's that one. Okay, and I think this one was pretty good. Okay, so next step. What are we going to do next step? We're going to set that one aside. Let's start with this one. Okay, so we're going to recognize that there's like a top and a bottom. The top is what I would consider the bubbly, puffy side. The bottom is the flat side, which hopefully, as you're writing on it, will keep things from poking through. So we want our fabric to go on the top, puffy, bubbly side. And then we would like a piece of paper to go on the back side. So I'm thinking, yeah, that should have enough resistance. Guess we'll find out, won't we? Maybe we should test it. The thing is, we're going to sew these together, and I don't want something super thick on the back that's going to make my machine struggle. My machine is officially 40 years old, like this Christmas, so nowish, and my dad and mom bought it for me in college because we had to make our own choir dresses, and for that first concert, had to borrow a friend's sewing machine and make my dress. And you know, she had to make her dress and I had to make my dress, and you're still actually trying to go to school and do all the other things, so it was a bit of a struggle. I got it done, and I think we had like 3 choir dresses that year we had to do. So my dad decided that that was something he would like to do, is to buy me my own machine so I didn't have to borrow anymore. And so this is the same machine. It's a white, it's called a jeans machine. It's very heavy duty, very basic. It was meant to do like umpteen layers of denim, and it only has a straight stitch and a zigzag, which is fine. And it is heavy duty. I finally got it serviced. The cord for the foot pedal disconnected, you know, it didn't get loose. It's, you know, how when your cords get old and they bend and break, and so all of a sudden it was like, nope. It was done. It's like, well, you know, you've lived a good long life so far. That's to be expected. Okay, all we're doing here is just putting a little glue down the center section, and I'm using, you can use your 3-in-1, your Fabri-Tac. This is the foam and poster board adhesive from the Dollar Tree, because $1.25 for 4 ounces of glue versus $13 or more for 8 ounces of glue seems like a good trade-off to me. This is a little more, it has more of a glue smell to it, more toxic fumes, but it works the same. Okay, now that is oozing through. Now I went lightly on my glue, and I did not see that other people were having this trouble with the oozing through, so maybe I need to go a little more lightly with my glue. Okay, so there's one, and then I'm gonna sew around these in a minute. I'll go off camera and sew and then come back. Okay, so the next one, when I get ready to sew, I'm not ready to sew yet. Let's just tack it down a bit. So anyway, I'm liking these because of the size of the bottle and the cost. And they seem to do all the same things that the 3-in-1 will do, which includes plastic. So I think art glitter glue would probably work, and I haven't tried Barely Art glue, so I don't know. If somebody else does know, please interject in the comments and let me know. Probably should not have done that quite yet. should be using my trimmer, but for some odd reason today we're going with scissors. And since I can't cut straight, I must be living on the living life a little on the wild side here. Pencil. Maybe I should use my trimmer for that one. Too much of a potential to cut crookedly on that one. Let's erase. Not pretty. This is one I ordered. I've started ordering these off of Etsy. Just coffee dyed paper, and whoever has something that I like the look of and that they actually have them in stock and I can afford. I have done some of my own coffee dyeing, but I can't do fancy stuff like that. It doesn't turn out. Whoops. Oh, crumb. No. Wrong side. There we go. I need a dry towel. You gotta rub that off. That's one nice thing about these beacon glues. You can rub off the little spots, kind of like a rubber eraser or a rubber cement, you know, kind of thing. Okay, so there's that one. And now for this one. Now this is very thin fabric, so I'm gonna have to just be really careful with this one. And not put a lot on there because this, I would never make an outfit out of this. It's so thin, but it's really pretty for other stuff. So I've used it a lot in my crafting. There's that, and then still got some glue spots on there. Why? Let's get rid of my pencil mark there. Okay. So we're wanting to avoid the edges because we don't want it to interfere with the needle and the machine. So that's why we're only gluing kind of in the center, because when I sew, it will go around the outside edges. Don't think I've said that yet. If I have, it bears repeating because it's very important to be nice to your machine. So yeah, I finally got it serviced about, I don't know, 3 years ago maybe 4, I don't know. Time flies. My goodness, I was thinking about some of the videos that I have done recently, and I'm like, oh yeah, I just did that not that long ago. And then I'm like, oh, that was over a year ago, or that was 2 years ago. Okay, time to revisit that topic. Okay, so I'm going to put my scraps over there. All right, so next step is where we're going to trim it into a tag shape. And there's 2 things I want to do first. Okay, let's do the basic one first, and then I'll show you the variations. So this is my basic tag. I'm just going to give it a little dog ear there. Can't see that one. There we go. Let's do that. Here's that. Okay. And then all I'm going to do is sew around here. Don't think I got that exactly straight, but close enough. And I want to add a little topper thingamabobby to this. So I have a few pieces that are, most of these are scraps off of old projects, but I think they'll make good tie strings. And they definitely have that Holly Hobbie vibe. They definitely have the Holly Hobbie vibe. kind of like how this one looks. Now because these were edges off of an old placemat, they are a little thicker. So I have to be aware of that. I just like, I made a journal cover out of the rest of this a while back, a few years ago. Okay, so I have actual sewing clips, but they're not out, so I'm just using that right now. So when I get ready to sew, I will tack that down and we'll sew around this. Okay, so there's one. Now the next one I was thinking about was what if, I don't think I did that one right. What if you don't want a backing on it, but you wanted to cover it with fabric? So where's my spares? What if you wanted to cover it with fabric all the way around, but not right here, but maybe tuck a tag into it? Okay, so let's do that really fast too. Sorry, variation on a theme. This was one of my ideas. And I will quickly redo this one and be right back. All right, so what I thought would be cool is what if I made like a side pocket on one of them where you could tuck something inside. And I like this one for that. These are just big laces I have found at the thrift store. We just want to make sure we have the right side up. There it is. So I thought that'd be kind of cool if I made like a little tuck pocket thing over there. I really should use my straight, there we go, the straight blade. So it would just run along here and then we'd have a side tuck. Now the trick is going to be getting that straight enough or tight enough, you know, to really catch and to hold things in, because this lace is a bit stretchy. But I thought that would be kind of cool to do. We're gonna trim like that. Okay. So that is just going to go on here like this, and then when I sew around, it will be cool. Let's see, I'm looking at this because I like the green, but I'm afraid that's too thick and it looks too clunky with the delicate lace. So we're not going to do that. But we will do this. Is that enough? I kind of need one that's like this shade. I like the green. I wish I had a green. Wish I had a strip of green, which I definitely do not. I wonder if this, no, that's too Halloween-y looking. I think this is going to be too dark. Well, of course, we're going to get all caught up in what color to make the pull tab. Oh, do you think it'd look okay with just a strip of that fabric? I have some. I have a piece. Or will this be too floppy? Let's give it a look and see if we think it's too floppy. It wouldn't be too floppy if I did it this direction, though. Oh, that would look cool. Okay, let's do that. So we're gonna trim this down with the pinking shears as best we can. Okay, so this is not straight. Let me get this other one. There's another strip. No, what am I doing? Don't need to do that. Okay. Brain fully engaged. There we go. I'm just gonna cut a strip. There we go. And then I'm gonna fold it in half. How much of that are we gonna want? Down to about there. Okay, there, and then that kind of brings in the pattern of the background fabric. Just kind of ties the whole thing together. Okay, so when I sew, we're gonna go over this. And let's find me a clippy. Like I said, I'm not, not using my ones for sewing at the moment. I'm just using what's handy in my dish. Okay, so when I sew this, because things are moving around, I will have to make sure it all lays exactly where I need it to. And when I do sew, Gayle did a zigzag, but I think, at least for this one, I might need to do more of a straight stitch just to make sure everything goes where it's supposed to. So there's that one. And then my last and final thought was, what if you don't want writing space on both sides? What if you wanted it fabric on both sides? How would you make the writing space? And it occurred to me that you could use a lace pocket. So I have this wider one. You know, when I bought these peach colored laces, I thought I will never use these, but you know what? I am using them right now. And this one's wide enough, I think. I can just fold it up on the back side. Yeah. So let's do this here. Okay, there's that. Going to trim, going to keep track of my scissors so I don't use sewing scissors on paper and paper scissors on fabric. Now this is still kind of wet under there because it is very thin, and even though I dabbed the glue a little bit, it's still tacky and I don't want it to stick to my machine. Even like when you're trying to feed it through and it's grabbing onto the plate there when you're trying to sew it through, that will not help me. But I'm thinking that I can lay this on here and have a lace pocket and then insert a tag in here for the writing space. I like it. I like where we're going with this. Now I still have to decorate it up though. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it like this, and this is a little wider, but I will trim it down after I sew. Okay, so I'm gonna go off camera, I'm gonna sew, and then I shall return to decorate. Okay, I am back. Each one of these had its own little challenges. I did this one first. I elected to use black thread on all of them because of the black background on that one. I could have used brown like for these three, but then I didn't want to change because brown would have looked weird on this one, so I just stuck with black for all of them. This one I did a zigzag. It looks all right. This one I also did the zigzag. There are some bits here where you can see the foil sticking out, so we want to do some trimming. I did a little bit of tidying up off camera, but I'm saving these other two, the last two, to show you. So this, on this one, paper is sticking out a little bit beyond the edge. So what I did with this one was I just trimmed it up with my straight edge a little bit. I could also use, if I want, to keep that deckled, or not deckled look, to keep the look of the pinking. Let's see, do I have my pinking? These scissors right here, my Fiskars paper edgers. We'll see. I would want to kind of match the zigzag on the front fabric piece so it doesn't look all messy. I know it won't cut through fabric. It's barely cutting through the plastic. But that would at least neaten it up a little bit. Even though we glued it, the fabric does kind of slide around a bit, and this one it puckered down here in the corner. Looks cool though. And the other thing that I realized after I had done this is that I should have used, since I'd done the pinking shears all the way around, I cut these straight, and I should have used pinking shears like I did on this one. This was the last one. And so I should have done the pinked edge on the angled corners, but I didn't. So now we know. Now we know some stuff. Let's see. Let's get this one trimmed up here. Yeah, the thing about these paper edgers is they're not quite as heavy duty. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go through this with my good pinking shears, but you don't really want to cut paper with your fabric scissors because they get dull over time. So I'm just doing it very lightly, very sparingly. So that's how that one turned out. Also on the first one, I started up here and I shouldn't have. I should have gone down here. Now a little pro tip when you're sewing, if you start sewing, you go all the way around the edge and you come back over where you started, you don't have to back tack. You know how you tack it down at the beginning of your sewing and tack it down at the end so that it won't come undone? You don't have to do that. If you just go all the way around and come back over your original stitching, you can avoid that whole tacking down, going back and forth situation. It's just quicker and easier and it's just as effective. So I do that almost all the time. Let's see, that has a thread. Okay, so there's that one. And if I wanted to, I could trim this down a little more or just give it the ziggy-zaggy. See if I can do this. Make it look good. I do think I can. Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna sacrifice my good scissors again. There we go. There we go. That looks better. Just a little bit of that uniformity with having the pinking edge all the way around. So there's those two. So these two here, this needs to be trimmed down, so I'm just gonna do it with these scissors because I'm cutting through lace and fabric. And that didn't do very well, so now I have to line it up. There's that. See if we can do better on this side, huh? Okay. Yeah, my really old pinking shears that I've had since I started sewing, they finally gave up the ghost. They're just too hard to open and shut, and nobody does scissor sharpening much anymore. Knife sharpening, blade sharpening. I told my husband if he wanted a really good retirement job, he should learn how to do that, and he'd be in business all the time because people always need their blades sharpened. My dad always did it for us. He had a grindstone, and he was in his retirement years, he did a lot of woodworking, so he had all the stuff. And I just got used to my dad being the guy who did everything, and that just isn't the case anymore because we don't have him anymore. He was just such a good handyman, you know, you get spoiled when you have someone like that in your life. But anyway, so I was like, Tom, good retirement job. Learn how to sharpen blades. And if you won't do it, maybe I will. Okay, so this did finally dry. These are not sticking. I put a couple of these papers in there while it dried. These are like the backings from sticker sheets. Put the slick side down towards the fabric where it was sticky, and I just left them in there while I was waiting for everything to... I did this one last, so it gave them a chance to dry because I was afraid my lace pocket would stick. All right, so now that has taken so much time, we're gonna run out of time to actually decorate, which is like really the fun part. So let's see what we can do here. Oh, this one, I didn't do this one yet. This is stretch lace and this is stretch fabric, and I never learned how to do stretch and sewing with polyesters, so it is curving up a bit. This also needs a little bit of a trim. So I did do the pinked edge up there. So right here, the paper's showing a bit. And on this edge, this is the edge that has the more of the dye color, the natural color. And I think, honestly, I'm just gonna let it go. We're just gonna let it be. So it does curve. I don't know if you can tell. See? I've been playing with it. That's a nice crinkle, though. Nice crinkle. All right, so let's see what we want to do to these guys, because we want our innocence, our hashtag innocence, to be the focus of our tags. Oh, she's cute. Now, all of these are not Holly Hobbie images, but they are Holly Hobbie-esque. Oh my gosh, look at that sweet child. And so I'm not sure who the artist is on all of these. some of you know, so please put it down in the comments because I don't know. Now, I like her with her flower arranging. And then these others, I think, okay, we wanted to put a couple of tags. So I have a couple of pieces of coffee dye file folder here. And they could be just a little bit narrower, and I'd like them, do I have one of these commercial ones? Here we go. I'd like them as short as this one. So let's put a mark. I'm gonna go trim, be right back. There we go. I like that. Maybe we want them a little shorter. So my thought was, you know, if you didn't want to have the writing surface on the back, like these all have, you could just make a pocket with a tag. And then this one has writing space on the back, plus it's gonna have space for a tag. That's a little tall. Let's see, I thought I had smaller pieces. I have this that's scrap from a piece of cardstock. So what I'm going to do is mark that a little bit lower, see if that'll do. And let's see, a little, the width on this was fine, I think. Let's see, this is a little bit wider, so would that be better? Oh, yeah. It kind of blends in with the peach and the off-white here, but I'm going to put an image on it, so I don't think all is lost. Maybe just a little bit shorter on the top. Really quick. Okay. And these two I definitely want to be shorter, but I don't want to lose my cool coffee dye pattern. So I'm going to take off probably 3/4 of an inch. Let's see what we got. Does that look better? Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to use this guy as the template for trimming the corners. I also have a little punch that I use sometimes, but it's not out right now. But I could be doing that to make the dog ears too. Dog-eared tag corners. And I have my hole punch somewhere. There we go. Nice. Okay, I like that. Now all we have to do is find a couple of people to put on there. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my goodness, how stinking cute. I wonder if she's too tall now. She probably is. Yep, too tall, sorry. This one's not though. I'm gonna have to go make some labels. I think I might go make some labels that say #innocence, or at least just innocence. Okay, here's this little cutie. This is technically the front, so she'll be on the front tag. Wow, that's just barely long enough on that one. And she'll be on the back. And then this one, because it has all those cute rosy tones. Let's see what else we got here. These two are pretty pale. I think she might work, or because I also have this gold back here. Let's see. You too tall? Well, sweetie, I could trim a little bit of that grass. I want to see how she looks in there. Because you kind of want, be nice if some of them face the other direction, wouldn't it? She's too big. It'd be cute if she was peeking out, but she not. This one kind of does, but I want her with the blue. Maybe I don't want this tag. Maybe I want another coffee dye one. This one has something on it. I don't know what. What's on there? It's like, I think when I coffee dyed it, it got stuck to something. Okay, so back to this idea. Because then she could go in there and she'd have a little more. And maybe it just needs to be a journal card instead of a tag, but I like a tag in a tag idea. Pink. We're going with pink. That's because I think it'll stand out better. I'm going to trim that off. I don't like it. There we go. I think we'll be okay size-wise. And then I probably want something in the background. So I'll be using probably all, if not most if not all, of those images in as we go. I'll probably print a few more, we'll see, but I have some Holly Hobbie books too, so I can cut pictures out and glue. So this little one, I don't want to cut off her feet or the cat, but she does need to be a wee bit shorter. There you go, and shall we ink in blue? Let's do it. All right, I'm back. I grabbed my 2 inks, the Vintage Photo and the Faded Jeans Distress ink, and then while I was up, I also grabbed, these are old hole reinforcement thingamajiggies from a really old scrapbooking kit ages ago that I don't even think I really liked the stuff that was in it, but I saved these, and luckily I did because these colors are going to go with this very nicely. So first things first, we're gonna ink. And I really think the blue would look cool. And my only other thing I'm wondering is if these guys need like a piece of book page or something behind them. Or something in the background because it's just kind of plain. But the actual image I don't want to do in blue. I just want to do the tag in blue. And the actual image I will do in Vintage Photo. So let's do both sides of the tag. Yeah, at one point my husband was cleaning stuff out of his office and had all these old files and things that were no longer active, and I was like, oh, I know what to do with those ratty old beat up file folders. I'll take those off your hands. So coffee dyed them all up, and now unfortunately I'm very stingy with how much I use them. So I need to use them. Okay, so that's the only blue. Okay, that one's done. Let's go on to Vintage Photo. Now I printed these on an ivory colored, well, that looks like white. I guess they must have had a little background. So I printed them on white, but they have kind of a off-white background like around them, border, and so they look creamy. There, I think that helped. And they aren't super sharp, but that could just be my printer. So I'm going to be switching my printer out pretty soon, and we'll see what it looks like. Now this one, I debated about doing the journal card in kind of that dusty rose, but I think that actually might be more detracting than just using the Vintage Photo. So stick with Vintage Photo. I'm trying to go quickly because this is definitely going to be longer than I wanted it to be, but I want you to see everything. I wanted the full enchilada. Okay, love that shade. Love that pretty color of green. So I used a few of these earlier in the summer when I was doing that Secret Santa swap, and I was Secret Santa to somebody who really liked the whole 70s look, and so I used a few of these little cute images. I remembered that I had them, and I was like, oh my gosh. So like I said, I will link below where I found these, and I will link Lara's video explaining the hashtag Innocence Project. And I will link the other thing that I said I would link that now I can't remember what it was. I think it was the 2 videos showing where they made these tags. That was it. That was it. So yeah, I think they're gonna be just exactly what I wanted. This is great. Okay, so now I'll start gluing, and then I'll have to come back when I have some word labels. I didn't think about it till just now, but I'd like maybe to have a word or 2 on here. What I wish I had was like a background stamp of flowers. Do I dare go look for that? Oh, no. I have this one that Dale gave me. Dale McVeigh. Hey Dale, thank you. I'm wondering, oh, of course, let's lay that in the glue. Good idea, Mars. I always watch other people do that and I'm like, careful. Now here I'm doing it. So I don't have one that's an all over image, but these are small enough, short enough tags that this just might do the trick. However, I did not grab a block, so we are going to tempt fate and do it without a block. And I'm thinking maybe this sepia color. So let's see what happens here. This is why I find it difficult to pre-plan videos, because I have to allow for artistic license. Okay, I'm gonna just do this. Now they're gonna look like they're in a field of wildflowers. That's got the Holly Hobbie vibe. Oh my goodness, how adorable. Yes. Gotta add a little more glue because I'm sure this is already dried out. This stuff absorbs very quickly. This is just art glitter glue in a little bottle. And if you're wondering what I'm using, I do have links to everything listed below each video. I specialize it to each video. Because like if I'm not using my scissors, you don't care. And if I'm not using, you know, glue or a special ruler, you're not gonna care. Oh my goodness, that is adorbs. Totes adorbs. Anyway, but if you click on those are affiliate links, and so I receive a teensy tiny commission at no additional cost to you if you follow the links and decide to purchase. This, since it was a gift, I don't think you could get it on Amazon. I think it, oh, I could look. Momenta, clear stamp, but I'm suspect that she found it at like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or somewhere that may not, you know, that might have more specialized products than what's on Amazon. Can't say for sure, but that's my suspicion. I'm sticking with it. Okay, here we go. I wonder, oh, I should just do these together. Okay. Now I'm really tempting fate. Let's go like this. I didn't quite get that pressed down on the other one all the way. So let's see. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's add a few more flowers to this one. I don't know if I'm in frame there. I hope so. If not, I apologize. Yep, that's what they needed, all right. Yep, and actually this needs a little more down here. Did that help? Well, I don't know, but we're going with it. So there she is in her field of flowers. So just a reminder, if you want to join in you can, because it is an open collab and just raising awareness for the innocence of childhood, how we are to be guardians and protectors of our children, not, you know, exposing them to everything that's disgusting in the world. Or some parents are just clueless. Having worked in a public school, I can say that. It's just astonishing, you know, and it's our role to make sure that we cherish their childhood, cherish their innocence, and protect them as we should, and also to just really bring awareness to the evils of child trafficking, the sex trade, and speaking out against it, you know. That's what we're called to do. So I hope that this has fulfilled all of those things. Oh my goodness, she's so cute. And I love her shoes. Look at her little cute shoes. She's so trendy. What a cute kid. Okay. So I'm hoping that you guys will join in and spread the word and spread the hashtag, and then make sure that you link back to Lara's video, which is linked below. Okay? I know she would love to have as many people as possible join in and spread the word. And as I finish gluing, oh, I didn't put on my little doohickeys. Oh, hold it now, because now I've glued you down and I didn't put on the reinforcer thing. Is that the right shade of blue? It is not. Could be the right shade of green though. There we go. Go with green. I'm glad this gives me something to use these for. I found it when I was going through stuff at one point. I was like, when am I going to use those? Now it is. This is the time. Seems like I always need a wet rag, a dry rag, all kinds of stuff. There we go. There we go. Cute, cute, cute. I got quiet all of a sudden. I'm trying to hurry. If I talk to you, I'll get distracted. Okay, there's one. Does this blue work? No. Does this blue work? Yes. Oh, let's use this softer pink. That one's really bright, but this one's softer. We'll go with softer pink. I hope that wasn't too quiet. I hope I wasn't too soft on that. Yay. Yeah, so when you have these random things, don't throw them out. You never know. You never know what you might want to do with them. They actually can come in handy down the line. Yeah, so just keep Tom in your prayers. He's going under the knife tomorrow. It's not too bad. We don't have to be there till 10:30. Thank you, Jesus. Getting up and being places in the middle of rush hour is not my favorite thing. I will do what I have to do, but I don't always enjoy it. Anyway, and then it should be relatively quick. I mean, like a couple hours, maybe. He should be out. Okay. Now we're ready to roll. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is so cute. So puffy tags made from packaging. This one needs fabric glue. She's big enough to stand on her own. She's a big kid. Yeah, there we go. So let me know, you guys, if you are going to make this project, if you plan to make this project. I'm looking at this thinking that could be benefit from a little button up there, so later on I may find one and stick it on. Oh, she's so cute with her little doll. What a little sweetie pie. And she needs a little more glue on these little pieces. There's that one, and then this one, I don't think I needed to add anything. I could go around it with some pink ink. I wasn't gonna, but I think actually it might be okay. I love that they're walking through the flowers. Love that. And then at some point I will be making more. A few more, because there will be more than one Holly Hobbie journal. I'll do the 2 main ones, and then I will probably make a couple of smaller ones with the book rings from all the cutoffs and scraps and stuff. And I'll explain to you when I get to that point why that is. There was a snafu with the ordering. Okay, and then I hope that I can find some words, or maybe I'll end up cutting something out of the books, out of the book pages, that I can use as a title here. All right, that wraps it up, guys. Thank you for joining me. Let me know your thoughts on the project. Let me know if you're going to join in, and if you'll be joining into the Innocence Project. And go over and check out Lara's video. And I don't know, Lara, are you going to maybe make a playlist and you can link everybody's videos in that? That would be awesome. There we go. I'm just going to give you a nice little snapshot top view. Thank you. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I will talk to you next video. And until then, be inspired and do something creative today. Bye-bye now.